செய்வோம், அதற்கு உன்னத கலையாம் யோகாவை கற்றிடுவோம். உடல் நலத்தினை பேணிடுவோம், அதற்கு உயர்ந்த கலையாம் யோகாவை கற்றிடுவோம். உடலினை உறுதி செய்வோம். உடல் நலத்தை பேணாமல் ஓயாது உழைத்து என்ன பயன்? உடல் நலத்தை பேணாமல் ஓயாது உழைத்து என்ன பயன்? கோடி கோடியாய் பணம் சேர்த்தும் करोतं प्रबलं मुनीनां पतञ्जलिं प्राञ्जलिरानतोऽस्मि.
The best investment you can ever make in your life is in your own health.
Focusing on your own fitness helps us to stay healthy, which is state of complete mental, physical and social well-being.
Yoga not only makes us physically fit, but also makes our mind strong.
Yoga is an incredible science that helps us to transform physical fitness, which is known as yoga today.
But Janvi, beyond physical fitness, it is the science which helps us enhance our mental wellness and spiritual awakening.
More than physical fitness, mental wellness and spiritual awakening, yoga is a tradition, a culture, a set of values, a set of beliefs that can truly help us deal with larger issues in the world.
Yoga brings us internal and external change. The external change is the physical side of yoga, which teaches us asanas, pranayama and mudras. The internal side of yoga is the physical change, which can be brought by the physical side of yoga.
Okay, now let me tell you the essence of yoga through a short story. Okay, so a saint was waiting at an airport for his flight, which got delayed by 2 hours. So he took out his smartphone, which contained a lot of apps to make a call. But there was no proper connectivity, so he couldn't make a call. Next to him, he saw an old lady who had an old Nokia phone with proper connection, and so she was able to talk to it for a longer period of time. That's when the saint realized that apps are definitely great, but connectivity is as important.
Yes, now I understand. We have many luxuries in our lives, like cars, houses and phones, which are like the apps. But the most important things are our connection and connectivity, as everything becomes useless without proper connectivity.
So, it is important to connect ourselves to self-realization, self-reflection and contribution. We should connect this to world by affection, contribution, service, etc.
Did you know connection to God and answers can only be attained through the harmony called yoga?
The true meaning of yoga is union. The word yoga is derived from the Sanskrit word yuj. Yoga is setting of fluctuation of mind.
It is a system of exercise for holistic wellness, a philosophy, a way of thinking for a well-directed and purpose-based life, and a path to harmonious individuals and social beings. Okay, now let me ask you.
No. I will ask the questions regarding yoga and you both have to answer, alright? So, starting with the first 4 principles of yoga: proper exercise,
Asanas,
proper breathing,
Pranayama.
Proper relaxation,
Savasana,
proper thinking.
Dhyana.
That's right. Now, who can tell me the most powerful yoga mantra?
The most powerful yoga mantra is Gayatri mantra.
What is the intention of yoga?
To seek balance and harmony in mind, body and soul.
The ultimate goal of yoga is?
The ultimate goal of yoga is inner clarity and spiritual growth.
Now, Shalaka, can you name some benefits of yoga?
Sure, to balance the mind, revive the spirit, gain inner peace, and to bring about a change in ourselves.
Janvi, what is the objective of yoga?
To promote holistic change.
Moral of yoga?
Ahimsa.
The father of yoga is Patanjali.
What is the first rule of yoga?
Focus on your breath.
Shalaka, out of the 4 Vedas, which one mentions yoga?
Rig Veda.
We conclude this with some slogans.
Yoga, a boon to people on earth.
Yoga takes no payment, pays your fitness.
Yoga can be practiced by anywhere, anytime, and by any age groups.
Bend and mend, yoga's the trend.
Stretch and reach, peace we teach.
Slow and glow, let yoga grow.
Yoga is the journey of the self, through the self, to the self. These are the wise words quoted in the Bhagavad Gita.
Yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pashyannatmani tushyate.
योग करें, स्वस्थ रहें.
योग की शक्ति, जीवन की शांति.
योगा से जीने, जीवन को सुधारें.
धन्यवाद.
Thank you much for the wonderful performance. I think the two bhajans on yoga and music and then this informative talk show on yoga has really opened our horizon to the topics of yoga and music as such. Thank you very much once again. A big round of applause for the students. Also a big round of applause for the teachers who are behind this, who train the students, the principal, the teachers, everybody. Thank you very much. Moving forward, we will have a short 10-minute meditation session. I'd like to invite Vanshika ji.
ॐ वेदाहमेकं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात् तमे विदित्वाति मृत्युमेति न अन्यपन्था विद्यते यनाय. Respected audience present over here today. So we had a wonderful program by the girls Mocha Pair students present over here. So thank you so much. Nice guidance. And a nice talk show. What is the talk on? Yoga. And yesterday was also the, as we all know, the Yoga International Day. So I'll spend a few minutes to further dive a little more deeper, right, and go back to the Shastras as well on the specific aspect of yoga. So, first of all, if you go back to the Shastras, this should not be yoga, it should be yoga. Okay, that's exact. Now it's become a bit of a westernized word now, right? In English, so we are using the word yoga. It's actually the word yoga, which means to join, union, combine. It's a small aspect, just leave it aside. So, we spoke about Shri Patanjali, right? He is the author of this Yoga Darshan. This Yoga Darshan, which primarily delves into this topic of yoga, has how many chapters and how many sutras? It has 4 chapters and totally 195 sutras. 195 sutras. The definition of yoga, right, as to what is yoga, is in the first chapter, which is called the Samadhi part. And the second sutra, it defines as to what is yoga. So Shri Patanjali writes over there, the sutra goes on to say, Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. Yoga, we just say together, Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. That's the definition of this word yoga. So, 4 words then, Yoga, Chitta, Vritti, Nirodha. First word is yoga, which is the subject here, right? These 3 words are really defining what is yoga. So, chitta means what? Chitta means mind, right? Or we can use the word manas. Mind, manas, right? All this complex is known as chitta, right? Vritti means what? Vritti means, in a way, different types of transactions, different types of thoughts or transactions. You can use the word thoughts, right? Different type of thoughts or transactions that go on in the mind. Okay, so different types of transaction thoughts keep going on the mind. And I'm not able to obviously explain in detail, it will give you a sense. The Shastras say there are 5 types of vrittis. How many types of vrittis? 5 types of vrittis. Okay. So, there is chitta, there is vritti, and there is nirodha. The word nirodha means when you are, it's not you're completely devoid of, it means you are completely in control of. Is there a difference between the two? There's a difference between the two. It's not about completely devoid of, it is completely control of. Right? So yoga is yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. That is the definition of this particular concept. The next sutra says, so first sutra is, by the way, Atha Yoga Anushasana. That means we now, the first sutra, I told you how many sutras we said? 195 sutras. Divided to how many chapters? 4 chapters. Name of the first chapter? Samadhi part. Samadhi means how to get to Samadhi. The second chapter is called Sadhan part. Sadhan means the way to do it. Right? Samadhi part is, on terms of about Samadhi, it talks a lot about it. Right? So it's called Samadhi part. The first sutra is Atha Yoga Anushasana. That means the first sutra says that now I will explain about yoga. The second sutra says Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. The third sutra says Tada Drashtu Swarupe Avasthana. He says, why do you need to get into yoga? I think he also in a talk show he said, what is the benefit of yoga? So the Shastras say, Tada Drashtu Swarupe Avasthana. That when you are in a yogic state, Tada means then. When the second sutra said, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. And when you are in a yogic state, Tada, that means at that time, Drashtu Swarupe Avasthana. You are able to see as to who you truly are. Tada, Drashtu means, Drashta means you can see, right? Drashta means being able to see. Swarupe, what is your true self? Who you truly are. Right? Avasthana. You are able to, so the big benefit of the yoga is, or in that state of yoga, the biggest aspect is that you are able to know who you exactly are. And the next sutra says, if you are not in a yogic state, so it says Tada Drashtu Swarupe Avasthana Vritti Sarupyam Itaratra. When you are not in a yogic state, then you are like your transactions or thoughts in your mind. Do you get the difference now? It's a little tough topic, but it's that since we have this Yoga International Day, we need to understand what yoga really is. See, this Surya Namaskar, Tadasana, etc., all this is very, very important. But this comes under the broader aspect of Hatha Yoga. This is not the origin, and this one the talk show also mentioned, isn't it? It is not that only doing this physical exercises, that alone does not really get you the essence of yoga. There are how many steps in yoga? How many steps in yoga? How many steps in yoga? And then we use the word Ashtanga Yoga, no? What is Ashtami? 8. Right? So it's Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyan and Samadhi. There are 8 steps in yoga. Because this concept now, Yoga International Day, we all have heard about it. I think every Indian or most of us have heard about it. Right? But we all typically are associating this with, see, when the Prime Minister or when you need to get 140 billion people, 140 crore people and help them understand a concept, it is difficult to go so deep. People will not understand. Right? And plus, because of Surya Namaskar, etc., all these asanas, it definitely has a very good impact on your physical health and to some extent even your mental health. And that's why only that one small portion is what is highlighted. One small portion is what is highlighted. But we need to go back to the original text to also understand the deeper essence of this particular concept. Right? And that's why I thought it is apt for us today to just discuss that little bit. Obviously, in this 10-15 minutes, right? You don't look at a trailer, but at least you get an essence that there is much more depth in this particular concept. Right? So first sutra I said was Atha Yoga Anushasana, which is the starting of this one. The second sutra says Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Right? The next sutra says Tada Drashtu Swarupe Avasthanam. That means only in a yogic state you will be able to really understand about your true self. What does this really mean? When we say understand your true self, right? Who do you think you are? When you think about yourself, what comes to your mind? Who are you? The first thing comes to mind is your name. Isn't it? Comes to mind is your name. Right? And when you think about your name, what comes into your mind after that? What comes to your mind possibly is your designation, right? Your education, qualification, right? Say, Krish, where you're studying right now, isn't it? These are aspects that will essentially come to your mind, right? And in a way, that is your identity. That is your identity with which you cling on to it. And that's how you see yourself, right? But who are you actually? Actually, you are your soul. You are your Atma. Right? And when you start seeing yourself only as your soul, and forget all these other identities that we have around us, our designations, our ethos, our wealth, our properties, our bank balance, right? All of these aspects, when that melts away, goes out of your way, at least when you meditate, and you bring those thoughts only when you need to bring it. That's why I said initially, yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha. Nirodha does not mean completely devoid of. I said completely in control of. Right? So all these aspects, right? All these different thoughts. Because otherwise, if you think about your day, except when you are sleeping, even then there is one vritti, which is dream. Which is a dream. That is also Shastras, the 5 types of vrittis. I will not get into that. There are obviously multiple sutras after that. Right? But during the day, what goes on in your mind? 24, except when you sleep, all the time, what is running in your mind? Something running in your mind. As you are eating, sleeping, playing, right, traveling, most of the time something is running in your mind. Yes or no? Random thoughts. Right? What will happen in future? What will happen? All these thoughts keep running in your mind. Right? Even when you sit and meditate, you have 10-minute session right now. For how many of you, I'm sure that for most of us, the mind was going all over the place. Right? Was it really concentrating on what was being said? What was being said? Very, very few. And for full 10 minutes without a break, even lesser. Isn't it? Yes or no? Does anyone really feel that for full 10 minutes you were completely focused on what was being said? With your eyes closed? Good? Happy? Okay, one person felt so. That's nice. Right? It is not impossible. It is definitely possible. Okay, but it's extremely difficult. Right? So yoga is a practice wherein when you are into something, right, you completely are able to focus on it. Wish to highlight over here that in some sense we all perform yoga as well at times. You know when in some sense. One is sleeping. You go to a 2.5 hour movie. You go to a 2.5, 3 hour movie, right? You are completely focused only on the movie. Right? Mind is not going anywhere else. What is being shown, you are completely focused only on that. Yes or no? Right? That does happen. Is that also in one sense? Don't take otherwise. In one sense, that is also a form of yoga. But the vritti, the Shastras also say vrittis are of 2 types, klishta and aklishta. Klishta is what takes you towards dukkha. Aklishta is what takes you towards pure bliss and happiness. Right? A useless movie spent 2.5, 3 hours is an aklishta. Sorry, it's a klishta. Right? So, but for that, even though it's klishta, but for that 2.5, 3 hours, you are in the state of yoga. Right? So, students sitting out here, you prepare extremely well for an exam. Extremely well for an exam. Right? And you feel that it's a whatever, maths paper, and you feel you can possibly aim for a centum. You had your board exams, okay, 10th standard. So when you have that, for those 3 hours, you are completely focused on your tip. You don't know what happened. So 3 hours just simply pass away. That time you're not thinking about anything else, about what happened in your life, about your home, your parents, nothing. You're only focused on your exam, provided you're prepared well. Otherwise, you are counting how many answer sheets I took, how many answer sheets my friend took, who came into the examination hall, who went out of the examination hall. Otherwise, your mind is going all over the place. Yes or no? But if you're completely prepared, aiming for a centum, then you're focusing 100% on your question paper. That is nothing but a form of yoga. And this is that vritti. This is aklishta vritti. It is taking you towards a positive direction. That 2.5 hours this movie was a klishta vritti, taking you in a negative direction. This is a positive direction, right? So the point to make over here is that we all, in some sense, genuinely do yoga. Even at work, for those sitting out here, when we are at work and sometimes we are completely concentrated on our meetings or on our some presentation or whatever it is, and that time you are 100% there. Whenever you are giving your 100% attention to something for a prolonged period of time, for a prolonged period of time, for a microsecond, everyone is able to think only about one thing. If you look at 1 microsecond, then you can't think of 10 things. You can think only of one thing. Right? So we all are yogis only. We all are yogis only. It's about the duration. It's about the duration. Some can pay attention for few seconds, some for 2 minutes, some for 10 minutes, some for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. That is our ability. Right? So, Yoga Darshan, in a way, it's a beautiful treatise as of 195 sutras. I just gave you a very, very high level perspective. Right? On the International Yoga Day, we should definitely celebrate on the asanas front. Right? But the primary focus of yoga is to help us being able to control our thoughts. Because this mind is the biggest monkey. Yes or no? It is the biggest monkey. And this mind keeps going all the time. What the Shastras tell us, I'll give a final story. You may have also heard about it. Right? So there was once this person, right, and he had a lot of work. He had a lot of work. And he couldn't get the right kind of people to support him. Right kind of people to support him. Right? So he was very, very, frustrated. He felt like I grow my business so much, but I just don't get the right resources. Many of us feel that, isn't it? So one day what happened was, suddenly there was a genie who came in front. And he said, you asked for a boon. One day I was very frustrated, so a genie appeared. It's a story, obviously. So genie appeared and said, ask for a boon. He said, I'm so frustrated, I don't get good people. So I said, okay, I'll give you one of my friends who's also a genie, and he will do everything for you. You just need to give an order and it will get done instantly. Right? But know one thing, if you don't give him work, then he will gobble you up. Some of you may have heard this, isn't it? Right? So this person was extremely happy, and then he started giving him work. So what will take 1 day, will take only 1 hour for him. So he gave a lot of work, but he quickly kept on finishing it. Right? He expanded his business, multiple continents, etc. 1 year he could give a lot of work. But after that it just wasn't enough work. Right? And then he realized that this person, he remembered that threat after 1 year. That if you don't give him work, he will gobble you up, he will eat you up. Right? So now he was extremely, he was very anxious now. What to do? So he went back to that original thing and said, listen, this is like too much for me now, right? What do? I just don't have enough work now. So he said, do one thing now. So he said, what do? Otherwise he eat me up. He mentioned it. So he said, think of a way. Think of a smart way. So what is smart way for those who have heard the story? What did he ask this person to do?
Straighten the dog's tail.
Huh? To
Straighten up the dog's tail.
straighten up a dog's tail, right? Or basically told him, okay, get on to a wall, break it, and keep building a wall, right? Give him some kind of a loop work. Okay. Our mind is also something similar. This chitta that the darshan talks about, right, is also very similar, right? If you don't occupy this properly, this mind is like a demon. And so when you're not concentrating on something, it is best to concentrate on the Almighty or on the Ishvara, right? Because this random thoughts that we start having in our minds, that is only stress. What is stress and worry? Stress and worry is when we randomly keep thinking about something. That is stress and worry. So when you think about it, if you want to really think about some aspects, sit down, meditate, and find an answer for it. But don't randomly keep thinking about it. That's what the Shastras have to say. That's how yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha, and that's how we can gain happiness in our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Vikas. Moving on to the announcements for today. The first announcement is the inauguration of the Tirunelveli Arya Samaj on the 15th of June this year. For this, I'd like to invite Shekhar ji to talk a little more about this.
Namaste. Last week திருநெல்வேலியில் ஆரிய சமாஜ் இனாகிரேஷன் பண்ணோம். நாங்கள் வந்து சும்மா ஆக்சுவலாக வர சொன்னாங்களே போனாங்க. நான் வந்து திருநாவுக்கரசு சார் தான் அவங்கள எஃபோர்ட் போட்டு கூப்பிட்டாரு. அவர்கிட்ட சொன்னேன், சார் நம்ம வந்து இங்கே இருக்கோம், திருநெல்வேலியில் போய் திடீர்னு எப்படி சார் ஆரிய சமாஜம் நீ வந்து பாரு சேர்க்குறாங்க, எப்படி இருக்குன்னு. அங்கே போனால் அவ்வளோ பேர் இந்து முன்னணி, ஆர்எஸ்எஸ், சோஷியல் ஆர்கனைசேஷன், அவ்வளோ பேர் மோர் தென் ஒரு 200 மெம்பர்ஸ் வந்திருக்காங்க. நாங்கள் அக்னிஹோத்திரம் பண்ணோம். நம்ம ஆரிய சமாஜம்னா என்னன்னு கேட்டாங்க. அதுக்கு நல்ல எக்ஸ்பிளனேஷன் கொடுத்தோம். அதுக்கப்புறம் அவன் பண்ணவொடனே மீட்டிங்கில் வந்து சொன்னோம், லேடிஸ் தான் அவன் பண்ணலாம், லேடிஸும் பூணூல் பண்ணலான்னு சொன்னோம். அப்படியா, நீங்களாம் அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணுறது இல்லையே, நாங்கள் யாருமே செய்யறது இல்லையே, நீங்கள் எங்களுக்கு சொல்லிக் கொடுக்குறீங்களான்ட்டு ஒரு 20 பேர் வந்து என்னை பிடிச்சிக்கிட்டாங்க. கண்டிப்பாக சொல்லிக் கொடுக்குறோம், நீங்கள் யார் யார் இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட்டோ நீங்கள் சொல்லுங்கள். ஒரு நாளைக்கு மறுபடியும் நம்ம அவன் பண்ணி இந்த மாதிரி உங்களுக்கு காயத்ரி மந்திரத்தை பற்றி சொல்கிறோம். காயத்ரி மந்திரம் அந்த அளவுக்கு உங்களுக்கு குடும்பத்துக்கும் சரி மனசுக்கும் சரி நீங்கள் சொன்னீங்கன்னா அந்த அளவுக்கு எஃபெக்ட் இருக்கும்னு சொன்னோம். அங்கே வந்து ஒரு ஆறுமுக பாண்டியன் அவர் பெரிய பிஸ்னஸ் மேன். அவர் ஆரிய சமாஜத்துக்காக அவ்வளோ நான் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுறேன், நான் சென்னைக்கு வரேன், டிவி கேட்க வரேன். அவர் ஹோட்டலில் எங்களுக்கு 2 டேஸ்க்கு 4 ரூம் ஃப்ரீயாக கொடுத்தாரு. பட் நான் மீட்டிங்க்கு அவர் வரேன்ட்டு அவர் பிஸினால அவர் வந்து சேர முடியல. அதுக்கப்புறம் அனந்தராமன் சார் ஒரு ஸ்கூல் எஜுகேஷன் ஸ்டாஃப் ஒரு பெரிய ஸ்கூல் வச்சுருக்காரு. அவரும் நல்லா சப்போர்ட் பண்ணார். அவரும் வந்து எங்கள் ஸ்கூலில் வந்து ஆரிய சமாஜம் நீங்கள் ரெகுலராக சொல்லிக் கொடுங்க, நாங்கள் ஃபாலோ பண்ணுறோன்னு சொன்னார். ரொம்ப நல்லா சப்போர்ட்டிவாக இருந்தது. ஆரிய சமாஜம் அந்த அளவுக்கு ஷார்ட் பீரியடில் திருநெல்வேலியில் ஓரளவுக்கு எல்லாம் நாங்கள் நோட்டீஸ்லாம் கொடுத்தோம். வரவங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் நோட்டீஸ் கொடுத்து அதை வந்து டெல்லியில் பிரிண்ட் பண்ண அந்த பாரத வித்யா சுத்தி இந்து கிறிஸ்துவ மதத்தை விட்டு வெளியேறிங்கன்னு ஒரு பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணாங்க. அந்த புக்கை அங்கே பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணி எல்லாருக்கும் கொடுத்தோம். அதை 3 பேர் படிச்சுட்டு நேற்று கூட 2 பேர் என்ன டவுட் கேட்டாங்க, இந்த புக்கு நீங்கள் எப்படி போட்டீங்க அப்படிங்க. நாங்கள் இருக்கிற ப்ரூஃப் தான், சத்யார்த்த பிரகாஷை வச்சு தான் ஃபாலோ பண்ணேன். நீங்கள் வேணால் நீங்கள் அதை கேட்டுக்குங்க, எங்கள் ஸ்காலர்ஷிப் இருப்பாங்க அவங்களுக்கு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுவாங்கன்னு சொன்னோம். ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது. நம்மளும் அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாருமே சப்போர்ட் பண்ணோம் ஆரிய சமாஜத்துக்காக. இந்த வாய்ப்பு கொடுத்ததுக்கு ரொம்ப நன்றி.